And like that, our first month in Sicily has come to an end. Goodbye, beautiful Cephalo. It's been great. We'll definitely be back. For the month of November, we're moving to the west coast of Sicily. We have to shoot a couple of scenes for our video in the footsteps of the Godfather in Erise and Segesta. Take a swim in one of the best beaches in Sicily, San Vito lo Capo. Taste the famous wine in Marsala. On the way, we stopped at a lookout point above the picturesque town of Castamare del Golfo. Appearances can be deceiving. In the 20th century, the seaside town, along with the island town of Corleone, was one of the two main mafia centers in Sicily. A few kilometers from our destination, we saw white marble mountains to the right of our course. Striking sight. The temptation to see up close how marble is quarried was great. The gates of the quarry are open. No one's here. We stayed at a holiday home Nicola Santoro, in a detached villa. 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, large living room with a kitchen, huge terrace from where you can see the sea. It is 500 meters away, and 12 olive trees. A fantastic view on Monte Cofano. And a little to the right is the view of the marble mountain with the name Pearl of Sicily. This is the name of one of the world's most famous marbles. It turns out that it is mostly mined literally next to us between the mountains of Monte Cofano and Monte Sparaggio, in an area of only 3 square kilometers in the area of the town of Custonaci, where there are about 200 marble quarries in the largest Sicily mining district and the second largest in Italy. The name Pearl of Sicily comes from the round spots of calcite that cover the surface of this marvelous ivory-colored stone. In fact, with their bright white appearance, they resemble the pearl surface of shells. Thanks to its incredible aesthetics and technical qualities, being resistant to all temperatures and trampling, Perlato di Sicilia is used both inside and outside to create floors, vertical coverings, staircases, as well as sculptures. However, this was not always the case. Many centuries ago, the jewel of Sicily was a very different marble. From the end of the 16th century, Italian architects began to actively use in construction and decoration not only the long-known marble from Carrara, but also other stones supplied from far more distant areas from the mainland. During these years, the extraction of marble, especially red Libeccio and yellow marble from Segesta, boomed in Sicily. It is difficult to find another breed of marble that could rival Libeccio Antico in its natural properties and beauty. Its palette of shades is astonishingly varied. Its greenish, purple, and colored on golden tones seem to burst forth from the depths, becoming a colorful and captivating multicolor. This Trapani marble is particularly good for the creation of columns and the construction of chapels and basilicas. This is how this rock was described in Marzo Ferro's textbook, Il Iberico Antico, dedicated to one of the most valuable Sicilian marbles from the Custonaci area. In those distant times, marble inlay techniques continued to develop, and the use of Liberico began to be combined with the development of the art of the so-called marble bending, the first examples of which are to be found in the Church of Jesus in Palermo. Libeccio Antico is very popular in the decoration of the corner pilasters of chapels. Together with geometric patterns, the masters made extensive use of floral motifs characteristic of the Renaissance. In the Crocifisso Chapel in the Gesu Church, Liberico Antico serves as a backdrop for pinkish-beige winged sphinxes supporting graceful floral vases. During several decades of the 17th century, the magnificent colonnades of many Sicilian churches continued to be made mainly of Libecco, whose intense stones attracted the eye and invariably turned the succession of columns into the compositional centers of the temples. Thus, in the San Giovanni Battista Chapel in the Church of Sant'Ignazioall'Olivella, the dense veins and shimmers of the marble columns adorning the altar are marvelously combined with the inlays of the side pilasters. The art of marble workmanship made it possible to create such colorful columns as can be seen in the Church of Jesus in Palermo. Paolo Almato, who was Palermo's chief architect from 1687, made extensive use of the richness of the marble palette in the Church of Santa Maria di Valverde. Working on his architecture, he structured the church with twisted Libecco columns and filled the spaces between them with sculptures on biblical subjects, frescoes, moldings, and bas-reliefs. The magnificent altar was framed by two groups of multifaceted, multicolored columns with richly inlaid bases. In the church of the Jesuit boarding house, created with participation of Paolo Rizzo and completed by his pupils, Libecco was used to make an elegant balustrade along its walls and luxurious pilaster framing the wall. When luxurious polychrome architectural decorations with combinations of black, white, black, and red marble went out of fashion, Libecco continued to be used, but in the form of large wall slabs. The completion of the apse of the Church of Jesus in Palermo can be attributed to this period. The aforementioned architectural objects cannot, of course, cover all examples of the use of this marble. The Libeccio Antico can be considered the most baroque of the Sicilian marbles, which corresponds perfectly to the creative tension underlying most of the works of this architectural trend. Today, Libecco can be found in small quantities, mostly in a small number of rich colors, sold under the name Libecco or Disporo Tenero di Sicilia.